Hello, everybody! It's another beautiful, spooky Sunday morning, and you are listening to the Super Gamecast. I am your host, Bronson Fiore, joined by our mod mommy, wielder of the banhammer, Emily Hull Salander. And then,
Hello,
uh,
everybody.
and then we have our special guest today, Lucifer.
Hello.
Lucifer King Saber. Yeah, hey, you're probably wondering, where's Aaron? Aaron is busy currently moving to Montana. Oh, hey, we're getting subs. Ah, there, aw, thank you,
Oh,
buddy.
thank you.
I wanted to avoid the ads while I was watching the stream.
That's fair. No, we've definitely
But
had we've had the talk of, do we just want to run the ads manually so there's no pre-roll ads, and it always ends up being a shit show every time we do it. So we just
hmm
decided, fuck it, we're just gonna have pre-roll ads until we can figure this out.
I,
But
I, I feel that.
hey, another week has passed. Another week has passed here, and it doesn't feel like a week has passed because I was in a suffering chamber that was the stomach flu for a week, Monday to Friday. It was a fun time. By a fun time, I mean, boy howdy, I sure felt like I was dying. And then, so yeah. Em, what about you? How was your week?
I was in my own version of hell with work.
Yeah,
So,
'cause you work in the retails and the Halloween and the holidays are the happenings.
yep, not entirely happy about it, but what can you do?
What about you,
On the plus
Lucy?
side, I work with alcohol, so
Hey,
go
you
nuts.
get discounted alcohol that gets shit faced after work. That's probably
I
healthy.
don't actually get a discount on alcohol.
What? That's bullshit.
I know it is pure
That's
unadulterated bullshit.
bullshit. Every retail
I,
job that I've ever had, you got some sort of discount on product. That was bullshit.
at
That's
one of my
bullshit.
last jobs where I worked with alcohol, absolutely. Now,
I feel like
I have
if
gotten free shit from my vendors, though.
oh, that's nice. I feel like if you work in like any retail sector, that kind of thing, you should get some sort of discount. Like even GameStop, I got a 10% discount. So
Yeah.
that is the only time I was a retail monkey. The other time, was a decent job too. Anyway, Lucy, how about you? Were you also in a suffering hole this week?
No, it's just been a very busy week. A lot of different work being done. I had a couple jobs fall through. I had to pick up some slack as, uh, as some of you know. I was supposed to be on the podcast last week, but somebody called out, so I was stuck doing horse stalls by myself. And a lot of the ranches over in our area aren't just a couple stalls. Some of them have like 10, 20 horses that need cleaned up. So having to do that all by myself right before early in the morning is not fun. But it's been a good week. Lots of gaming and a lot of streaming got done this week, and I'm very happy about it. I hit my sub goal for my personal channel challenge with a couple other streamers. So
Oh,
unfortunately, I can't say that I was dying unless you mean the ever loving stress of just life itself.
that's fair. All right, well, good to know we got caught up with everyone, and good to know at least someone on this show had a good week. you
Now I
know,
feel bad.
Oh,
um,
it's okay, bud.
you don't have to feel bad, man. It's stuff happens.
It's life.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should get straight into the news. Bloober Team. If you don't know who Bloober Team is, they are the fine folks who made the Silent Hill 2 remake. And before
Hmm.
the Silent Hill 2 remake, they made a bunch of arguably kind of mediocre horror games. Observer was kind of cool, but Layers of Fear, Blair Witch, The Medium, not great. Not particularly great. And they are quoted, and now the Silent Hill 2 remake is out, and it's been very, very, very well received. Everyone's really loving it. And it's, hey, Bloober Team is, quote, finished making shitty games. We want to find our niche, and we think we found our niche. They said they are aware of the mixed reputation of some of its previous titles, and the company is done making, quote, shitty games. Um, so yeah, and then I think that's great. I think that remake has been really awesome. I'm not super far into it. I think we're about 2.5 hours in. But man, it's fucking great. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, at least they did this in a better way than what was that company you guys were talking about last week that had their Discord trolled?
Oh, Denuvo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Denuvo makes
Nuvo.
anti piracy software. I think they're always going to be hated. It's just it now they're like extra hated and dumb.
Hmm.
This is a case of like this is a development studio who has had very mixed reception for their product. I think that looking at the medium was kind of boring. Observer was like cool, and then like the rest of these are kind of a bunch of no-name horror games. So I hope that my concern here is like, okay, so they remade Silent Hill 2, and they added some stuff to it, and they expanded on it a bit, but it's still mostly Silent Hill 2. It is the ideas of Silent Hill 2, it is the function of Silent Hill 2. So I guess my big thing is like, okay, can you guys do something original, um, and not just color in the lines really good? You know, that's my big question, I guess.
From a lot of the people I've played that do like strictly like horror games,
Mm.
they're loving the new Silent Hill remake.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I think
so
it's
I
great.
mean, if they continue on just delivering on that end, um, I think they'll do fine.
Yeah, I just
That's
want.
right, boys.
Oh, hey, we got a
Mondo
follower.
cool.
Hi,
Hmm.
ND Hart. Thank you for following. Yeah, I guess my question is like, how can they do it with their own game and not like a remake that of something that someone else made? You know, I guess that's my question for them. But I applaud the self awareness.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I didn't even think about it that way.
what
Um,
the self awareness?
no, making their own game because it has been kind of slow in the market. Like as far as it, I was listening to somebody on a different podcast, and they put it this way: "It's like game developers are playing it way too safely. They're not taking chances with new IP as much as they used to." And it made me think about it, and I'm like, yeah, every sequel it plays it safe. There's no real big changes to like a franchise game. I think the only one recently was like Arkham.
Yeah, the
They did the
VR
Oh,
four
game.
player and then the VR game.
Well,
And
so no, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and those last two games weren't, you know, highly regarded as much as the main three. And even like a lot of people had issues with Arkham Knight.
I
Oh,
loved
we
Arkham
saw the
Knight.
plot. Oh, it was an amazing game.
I loved
Like
Arkham Knight.
I knew who the Arkham Knight was.
I figured it out like within the first hour of the game. I was like, oh yeah, it's this person. You know.
But I knew it when they announced the game. I just knew, like, you're not gonna just create a character like that. And the modeling, it was just. I'm a huge Red Hood fan, absolutely huge Red Hood fan. So, like, I saw that reveal coming a mile away from the reveal, and yeah, hopefully these guys. Well, maybe these guys will do like their own Silent Hill game.
Maybe
That'd be
like
nice.
they've already announced that they're working on a new game. It's called Chronos: The New Dawn. It is a horror game that is supposed to come out next year. Quote, delve deep into the heart of a deadly struggle against overwhelming foes with combat-driven gameplay, all while uncovering mysteries of a twisted time travel story. The game takes place in the 1980s communist Poland, a wasteland that has been affected by a plague known as the Change. And then it's a survival horror game. That's what we have, and we have a screenshot. I'll throw it up on the screen now for everybody. Yeah. So, yeah. I only came here because of Lucy. Well, hopefully you'll stick around because you end up liking us.
Yes, Indy, please. I
um,
love this place.
okie dokie. So, yeah, as for your thing about risk, I think that is more a publisher concern than it is a developer concern. I think developers would love to take risks and do interesting things with their sequels. I think Nintendo still does that very well. I think going from the Skyward Sword style of Zelda to the Breath of the Wild style of Zelda was a huge step for them. Um, Now, on the other side, but most publishers do not like to take risk. They feel risk as, potentially a money loser. So they are mostly going to do sequels that are fairly safe. It's, kind of why, like, I love Spider-Man 2. It's expanding on Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales. Same thing with what's another sequel I played recently? Same thing with God of War. Same thing with Horizon. Same thing with the Resident Evil remakes. Like, yeah, and I get why. Like, from a financials perspective, especially because games are so fucking expensive now to make. You look. Spider-Man was like $300 million. Spider-Man 2 was $300 million. Cyberpunk ended up being $500,000 total. I would be willing to bet a Call of Duty game is probably $100 million at least. Was another like a cheap AAA pretty video game now is at least $50 to $70 million, and that's like crazy, and that's why they don't want to take risk on it, which is unfortunate. So where you're going to see that innovation is it's going to be in the indie space and in the double A space. Like you're going to see that from independent studios and independent developers. So like you're going to be seeing that from like Larian making Baldur's Gate. You're going to be seeing that from like the guys who made God, what's that game called? It came out earlier this year. Pal World. Like you're going to see that from more likely independent studios. That's not to say AAA studios can't innovate. There are ones who do it, or there are ones that push boundaries. I always point to Nintendo trying weird new stuff, but it's just when you are a publicly owned company, you are and you really don't want to lose money on a product. That's what ends up happening. There's a lot of safe bets. In fact, I remember Microsoft was quoted after the Microsoft and the Xbox division in particular was quoted a leak saying "safe bets only." So,
Is it a bet if it's safe?
I mean, as someone who's done sports betting, yes. there are certain parlays I have looked at and been like, oh, that's totally easily a game that you're going to be right about. Um, but yeah, so what you're going to see out of Microsoft at least, yeah, you're going to see a lot of safe sequels, and they can still be good. And the thing is those can still be good games. Like I'm going to tell you right now, Doom: The Dark Ages is probably going to be an amazing video game, but it is definitely not going to be crazy innovative or unique. Um,
Speaking of Doom, did you see what they recently released? They did like a bundle of all their games with a 5-inch replica of the BFG,
oh, that's sick.
and it comes with a steel case,
Epic.
even though it doesn't have the game in it. because
I,
instead
I
of giving you 5 or 6 different CDs or like or digital codes, they just give you one singular code. It's selling for like $80.
that's kind of cool. I still hate getting a case without a goddamn disc in it. It annoys the shit out of me. Um, but I think the rest of that sounds dope, and I get why they're doing it, because you know. Anyways, we just brought up Bloober Team, who's all about the horror games, and we got another horror game news story. So the Dead Space remake came out last year, and it was very well regarded. Most people loved the living shit out of it. Um, but EA has canceled the sequel following poor sales of the original of the remake, the first remake. Yeah, and apparently that makes sense because it sold 2 million copies. And it's
EA, my nemesis with them in
EA.
Star Wars.
EA
I mean,
is.
I mean,
Yeah. So yeah. So like this is a perfect example of that cost situation though. So this sold 2 million copies, right? Now the platform holders so this was a $70 game. Now
hmm
now here's the thing. Platform holders take 33%. So so you're gonna take hold on. So you're gonna take 33% of this, which ends up being, or take 33% off. So they make $46.66 per game. Okay, that's how much they make. Now you're gonna times that by 2 million copies, right? Now you're like, oh, that made fucking $93 million. And you're right, that's a lot of money, except this remake probably made it so that $93 million on a game like this probably barely broke even. And the thing is, because big publishers like EA, Ubisoft, Microsoft, Nintendo not as much because they're kind of willing to tell their investors that's dumb. But most of these big publicly traded companies that do game publishing, they need to beat the S&P 500 to make the investors happy. So whatever this cost to make, it needed to give a 10% return. So breaking even is not good enough. That is why this is. Um, oh, and yay, my coffee is here. Cheers.
Hey,
Um, so yeah. No, so this is a bummer. So last year, sorry, go ahead.
I was just noticing that because I looked up other games that came in during January of that year, and another one of their EA titles came out, and that was Jedi Fallen Survivor or Fallen Order.
They came out in April last
hmm
year.
Jedi
Really?
Survivor came out in April
Or
of,
no,
or May.
oh,
Internet, how you fail.
Yeah, because I
don't
was able to
don't.
play it April 28th of last year because I
Yeah,
got it for a couple days early.
I remember it came out 2 weeks before Zelda, and I was like, I don't have time for this. That's what I remember that. So yeah. No. So yeah, I and it came out in a fairly not crowded release sector. Like it came out next to Fire Emblem Engage, and it came out next to like Forspoken and some old
hmm
video remakes. It's literally it just it sold 2 million copies, which once again you hear, oh, that's a lot, but then holy shit, look at this croissant. It's huge.
Holy shit!
Ooh,
God damn.
delicious.
It's like as big as
It's like a
a
softball.
face. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's bigger than my fist.
Bigger than my fist.
Probably as big as mine. Be bigger. I don't know.
um,
I'm pretty tiny.
but yeah. So I feel like if this game was going to get a sequel greenlit, it probably would have had to sell 4 to 5 million copies.
Right.
Just sad because how beloved the franchise is.
Right?
Not to mention when they put this out, they really made it beautiful. They changed a few things for the best,
But it was
and I was looking forward to the sequel because that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
amazing game, but the financials, and this is why we've been saying for a while now, like, no, we need to make games more affordable. Now, how are we going to do that? It's like, all right, well, maybe we need to make them not look as amazing. Maybe we need to make them shorter. Um, whatever it is. But yeah, this, as we've talked about on this show ad nauseum, is yo dog. You cannot grow forever. Infinite growth is not a thing. Um, shit's got to come down eventually, and this is another example of that. Yeah.
And maybe there'll be enough outcry that they'll be like, all right, we need to walk that idea back of canceling that. You can only hope,
I think that would be really hard at this point.
especially with EA.
Yes. So the leaker that talked about this said they've been moved on to working on the new Battlefield game with the primary developer on that,
mm,
and EA Motive is also working on an Iron Man game, and that is taking up most of their attention.
I've heard
Uh,
about that.
so yeah, they also did not deny the possibility of a Dead Space Remake 2 happening at some point. However, the project is indefinitely shelved for the time being. Um, so I think what EA was expecting was like Resident Evil 4 remake numbers, and that just wasn't gonna happen.
I hate that they compare so much to Resident Evil because they did two amazing remakes. They did
hmm
Resident Evil 2, which was looked amazing. I still haven't played it yet.
Oh,
I
it's
own
it's
it.
it's fantastic. It's
And then
fantastic
they
front
did
to
it
back.
again with Resident Evil 4.
And they did 3, which I know some people weren't the biggest fans of, but I thought was decent.
It plays amazingly. I've played a little bit of that one, though I get the criticism of that being too short. It's I don't think they're ever going to make the fan bases happy at this point. Just the way fan bases are these days, you're just never going to hit a middle ground with any of it. You just have to hope
Unless
for the best.
unless you make Baldur's Gate 3, in which everyone who plays it thinks it's incredible. So basically, you need to make a game that's like 130 hours long, with a million branching decisions, tons of creativity, and is also was made on a decent budget. Good luck.
Well, I mean, Helldivers wasn't that, but it was amazing for the time being. I mean,
Yeah,
it was.
Helldivers was sick till they ruined it with a bunch of terrible decisions.
World
Um,
took off as well, and that wasn't a big developer.
oh yeah, there have been plenty of smaller studio successes this year. You know, like it's just it. If you want like, the thing is that in most cases you cannot have it all. Baldur's Gate 3 is and like the recent Zelda games are one of the few cases, and even Zelda has the issue of it's on the Switch, so it's not the most visually impressive game in the world. You can't have it all. Like that's the thing that I've been trying to like. You cannot have the most amazing graphics, up to date graphics in the world with a 100-hour video game with all this crazy shit in it because it costs too much now. You know.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned this earlier to lowering the price of games.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add in specifically digital titles. We're not paying for a physical item anymore.
That doesn't matter as much as you might think. Um,
Really?
and here's why. So, $70 game. Um, on a digital copy, the storefront, Steam, Epic, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo takes 33%, and then Epic Games I think takes 15 or 20. Um, that's how they're trying to get in good with publishers and developers. So so then you're left with like $46. I'll round down. Um, Now in a retail environment, you have the storefront, so like GameStop taking like $4, and then the actual like disc shipping etc. is like losing like $3 maybe. So you're like discs are disgustingly cheap to print, like especially if you're doing them in bulk. That's like everyone's now. Does it add up because of the manuals and this and that? And you're doing millions of copy. Yeah, of course. If you take, $4 and or at this point, let's see, this would be a $7 difference times 2 million copies of Dead Space. Yeah, that's 14 million bucks. But it's still not like $14 million was not going to be the difference in Dead Space getting a sequel. Unfortunately.
Damn it.
Um, and then also you can make the argument, yeah, we'll drop the price by $7, but why would the publisher ever do that?
I just want more games, and lowering the prices means I can buy more.
It does, which I typically say definitely look to AA studios, definitely look to indies. Though even they're starting to get more expensive. Like I bought Sea of Stars last year. It was
Mhm.
one of my top 10 games of last year. Amazing indie game. Highly recommend everyone play it. Fantastic RPG. Um, and it was $36 at launch. Indie,
36?
yeah, indie games are starting to get pricey, boy. I want to say Pow
Well,
World was
shit.
30.
That
Mm,
was 40.
Pow World
even
was
still,
40.
$39.99.
that makes sense.
Mm. Um, Hi Soul Chaos King. Sorry I didn't catch that. So
I typically don't pay full price for my games much anymore. Like if it's a PC game, I try to get I go online and search up Steam codes. Usually I can get them for like half
A
off
fraction of
or
the
seven.
cost.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
so
I'll like this week I'm gonna be buying Avengers for the PC because I can't get it through the store. So I have to get a Steam key, and it's
so
only
one
$5.
one thing that you want to keep in
We.
one thing you want to keep in mind when doing that. Obviously, in the case of Avengers, it doesn't matter because they don't sell it. But if you go to third-party sites like CD Keys, Kingwin, G2A, all of those, that money does not go to the publisher or to the developer in most cases. So just be aware. And typically, what is happening is somebody in the United States knows somebody in a country where the exchange rate is like insane, like like Thailand or places like that, and they're buying a shit ton of keys there and then selling them at a markup but still beating out Steam. So the developer and publisher is not making nearly as much money on it. And then just the middleman is taking the bulk of it. So just be aware when you use those third-party services, especially when buying indie games. Oh, so
I'm typically only mainly using it for so I've already bought the game for my PlayStation, but now that I've got my 3060, I'm like, ooh, I want GTA, I want Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, I've already bought the a majority of these games,
Mm-hmm.
but
Like, you
now I'm
want the
like, ooh,
good shit on this PC.
exactly. So I'm looking at that, and like
And
sometimes like,
yeah,
right,
I mainly direct this towards newer releases because like really old games, it's not really as much of an issue, especially because Steam sales happen and they're just as cheap as these key sites. You know, you know. And in the case of Avengers, don't give a shit at all. They're not selling anymore. Fuck them.
right. But at least now it gives me an opportunity to play that all the way through on a new system and, get some other people to buy the game, which you can't buy anymore. Because like you can get the disc version for console for, let's see, last time I looked, PlayStation 4 goes for like $25, and then the PlayStation 5 version goes for about 30-35. Though if you go to GameStop in South Reno,
Mm-hmm.
they have the collector's edition that I originally got for like $80.
Huh.
What?
That
What's
game
Just
the
for
did not.
PlayStation.
That game did not do well, so I'm not necessarily surprised. um,
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
so moving forward. Speaking of developers that are probably going to die soon, uh, Bungie creative team joins PlayStation to support live service games. Um,
You gotta do that to my local studio. You bitch.
tell
Keep going.
your okay. So Bridget O'Neill, who previously served as creative director at Bungie, discussed restructuring in a LinkedIn update this week. Today was my team's last day at Bungie, but not our last day working on Destiny and Marathon. Bungie Creative Studios is joining PlayStation Studios to build the foundation for a creative team that can support all PlayStation Live service games. As a part of this move, I am taking a new role as Senior Director of Creative at PlayStation Studios. Bungie announced in July it was laying off 220 staff, or 17% of its workforce, alongside plans to further integrate with parent company Sony. First, we are deepening our integration with Sony Interactive to integrate 155 roles of our roughly 12% into Sony Interactive Entertainment over the next quarters. Said Bungie CEO Pete Parsons, SIE is working tirelessly with us to identify roles for many of our people as possible, enabling us together to save a great deal of talent that otherwise would have been affected by the reduction in workforce. Um, yeah. I think that this continues to be a sad story, but I understand it. Um, I,
Oh,
I, I,
Bungie, how you've fallen.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really think that once Marathon is out, if it is not like a hit or a mega hit, Bungie is going to be gutted, and those people are going to just be working directly for PlayStation. That is what I think is going to happen. If unless it's a mega hit, if Marathon is super successful, then I think this conversation totally changes and goes around. But considering Marathon has had lots of development trouble from all the leaks we've heard out of Jason Schreier and Jeff Grubb,
Mhm.
um, yeah, it's a bummer. Bungie used to be my favorite developer. Uh, I was a huge Halo fan. I loved the early days of Destiny. Um, you know, it's
And
unfortunate.
hearing last week's podcast of you talking about that mobile app, I
Oh, Destiny Rising.
yeah, it just I don't I don't have the biggest amount of faith either. It seems like
And the thing
they're
is,
walking themselves to the grave.
developers can turn it around. If you told me after World of Warcraft Shadowlands that the next two expansions were going to be absolutely amazing and save WoW, I would have called you a fucking liar. But they are. I have played War Within almost every week since it came out. Even this week, I fit in some time. And Dragonflight, I played through the entire thing. So, um, I think that developers can turn things around. We talked about Bloober Team earlier in the week, but Bungie, from everything I've seen, has had just so many issues since 2011, and these problems just do not get worked out at all. And there's some real insight into why that is. Uh, so I don't know how many of you know who Marty O'Donnell is. He made the soundtracks for the Bungie Halo games. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a 1 hour and 10-minute interview with the Act Man. It's called The Dark History of Bungie, featuring Marty O'Donnell. And you get full insight into what happened and why the company kind of turned and all that stuff. I highly recommend you go watch it. It's a great listen, and you get insight into what the hell happened to Bungie. So, yep. Okay, a little bit of dead air there, everybody. Um, sorry about
Sorry.
that.
Sorry.
Um,
So what you're saying about Bungie is that they really need to get their shit together and make a kick-ass game with Marathon, or else they're
essentially, and then also I do think that Sony is a publisher who can help them do that.
mm-hmm.
Sony is a very hands-on
100%.
Sony is a very hands-on publisher who does take an interest in the success of their studios. Um, so I do think that Marathon can be good. It's just a matter of how much are they going to get cleaned
How
up,
good they
and
can
when is
make
it
it.
happening. Um, so yeah, um, that's that. All right, well, Bungie, I wish you well. I hope you get your shit together. Apparently, they're considering a $40 price tag for Marathon.
I heard about this. I was like,
Yeah,
maybe this might
which
be a step in the right direction.
I think it would be a great idea. I think that people have gotten so used to free live service games that $70 ones are a hard sell.
Mm-hmm. So find that middle ground with a $40 price tag.
Yeah,
Might not be a bad idea.
exactly. So we'll see where they go with it. Speaking of live service games, nickel and diming you for every little thing you can imagine.
Aha,
Um, Black Ops
here
6
we
has an
go.
option to pay for better audio.
What fuck?
Okay, so
I didn't
uh,
know this was a thing until this article. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I didn't hear
What?
a
Like this
single
broke
thing.
my brain.
okay, so they are using a third part. There's a third-party audio tool in the Black Ops 6 settings that is also going to be coming in the first season of Warzone,
Okay.
where you'll pay $20 and it will do this thing called Embody Immersion Spatial Audio, which creates a spatial audio profile based on your head and ear shape. So it like scans your head, and it is supposed to give you better audio for the next 5 years. Black Ops 6 isn't the only game to offer this, which is Final Fantasy 14 offered it through Embody for a few years. Cyberpunk added the option earlier this year. Um, so yeah, this is this is dumb. Yeah, the Final Fantasy 14 players aren't impressed with the audio offering. In fact, some have pointed out what Embody provides is not too different from Dolby Atmos, which also, hey, I'm someone with an Atmos soundbar now, and I have 700 games on my Xbox between the Xbox and Game Pass, right? Between my library and Game Pass library. 27 of them support Atmos. So,
Oh, that's right. We talked about this on last week's show.
yes.
Still such a
Um,
small fucking number.
mm,
Damn.
it's, yeah. It's, this is dumb. This is super dumb. Um, yeah, I don't. And also, Call of Duty's audio is still like super good anyway, so I extra don't understand this. Like, I hear like I was playing it most of the weekend, and I hear directional sound perfectly. Right, like I can hear like when I was in that like second or third mission in the campaign, when you're in the van with the radio playing, like, and the radio was to the right of my character, I heard it fine coming out of the right satellite. It's okay. You do not need this. Don't buy this. This is fucking dumb. Dear God. Um, you know. Ugh, God. Fucking publishers will try and find a way to nickel and dime you any way they can. I fucking swear to God. I swear to fucking God.
That's why I was saying it broke my brain because I didn't understand why people would want to do some bullshit like this.
Here's the
Right?
here's the thing. I don't mind gimmicky bullshit like this if it's part of the product. And then if it works, cool.
But if it's an add-on,
But like a $20 add-on for and it's not like it's part of the game forever. It's just for 5 years.
even still, like, why?
You
So
just
dumb.
get a software or something to do better.
I mean, also, like I said, the Black Ops 6 audio is good.
I haven't had
Don't
an
need
issue
this
with it.
shit.
May,
Okay?
may,
Yeah, don't need it.
make sure you go into the settings to set it to the right kind of sound system that you have, because
Mm-hmm.
I had it on the default and the dialogue sounded like shit, and then I changed it to, oh, I'm not running this out of a TV, I'm running it out of really nice speakers, and then it was fine. So yeah. So what that tells me is they actually mix their audio really well, which good
Mm-hmm.
on Treyarch and the Call of Duty team. Um, so
Yeah, you did something right. Good job.
you did a lot right. I have actually pretty nice things to say about that game when we get to what we've been playing about.
Yeah, I was kind of I was kind of expecting that after hearing last week's.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did have me rolling. That was pretty fucking funny.
Wait, which part?
Oh, when you were criticizing Call of Duty.
Oh,
Rightfully so, though.
Yeah. Um. So, all right. Moving forward though. That's that story. Then we have the fine folks at Guerrilla Games. They used to make a shooter franchise called Killzone, and four of those games ended up being pretty sick. 2, 3, Shadowfall, and Mercenary were all dope as hell video games. I did not particularly care for the first one, especially going back and playing it for our series ranking the PS2, which you should go watch that on our YouTube. You can watch me suffer through Killzone 1 for about an hour.
It makes me feel good in my heart.
Yes,
oh.
you can. And by the way, before everyone comments, yes, I know we haven't done an episode of ranking the PS2 in a little bit. We're working on it. God damn it.
Give us some time, goddammit. Give us some time.
Yes.
Speaking of PlayStation 2, a friend of mine just got a hold of a refurbished one, and she's giving it to me.
Yay! I
And
still have my original PS2, and it's in that closet back there.
is it behind Captain America or behind Iron Man?
It would be behind this like purplish
Black void.
void. Yeah. Behind Captain America over there is, I want to say, my oxygen concentrator from when I sleep. So, yeah. Anyway, so in an interview with the Washington Post, art director Killzone, who worked at Guerrilla for 24 years, says the following: the re-release of Killzone Shadowfall on PS4, the studio decided it no longer wanted to work on the Killzone series. That's understood, dude. They were working on. Okay, but you have to understand at that point they had been working on only Killzone for 10 years.
Yeah, and there was a fan base for that, wasn't there?
There
I
was.
was part of this fan base.
See? Why,
Yes,
Guerrilla? Why? Why kill off the fan base?
because
Well,
I can tell you, as someone who worked on a creative project for a decade, you do get burnt out.
Oh, that's true.
Killzone
But
2 and
even
3
still.
were like legendary. And then
So,
when the PlayStation 4 came out, yeah, I never finished that
Shadowfall.
Killzone. Yeah, Shadowfall.
I love Shadowfall.
I've
I was so pissed when the servers went down for the multiplayer. So good. Sorry, go ahead.
so I mean it's also kind of understandable. Plus they've been doing so well with the Horizon series.
Yep. So,
So if anything, I want at some point make another fresh IP. That way they
well,
don't burn out on Horizon.
my guess is that they are going to do one. So apparently they are working on 2 more Horizon games. One is a multiplayer game. One is the third game, and then they're going to be done and move on to something else. That is what the rumor is, anyway. Um, as for the move to Horizon, uh, saying, quote, we were done with it as a team. As a studio, we needed to refresh the palette. It was by choice the opposite of Killzone. They suggested that the more diverse nature of the Horizon games means it appeals to a wider audience. I think the themes, story, characters represent are relatable for all ages, like having a found family of friends and finding your place in the world. Elsewhere in the article, the Lego product lead of branded games, Kate Bryant, explained how the upcoming Lego Horizon Adventures will help the series to expand its reach to younger players. um, I Horizon is a franchise I have very mixed feelings on because I don't particularly like how it plays beyond its boss fights. Like, I think the rest of it just kind of feels like a generic open world game, but its boss fights are literally some of the most incredible I've ever seen in a game. And I love the story of the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think the story of the second game is dumb. I think it's super dumb. I think that oh yeah, half of humanity went to space and now they're back and they're basically genocidal
Space Nazis.
maniacs. Yeah, and it's just like this is so fucking stupid. And then it does not help in the second game. Aloy is an entirely unlikable character. She
I
is
haven't played it yet.
well, okay, so let me tell you, the world is beautiful and amazing. Definitely play it on a 4K TV or monitor with HDR. You will have your mind blown by the graphics. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to see the PS5 Pro upgrades to it. So there's that. Gameplay wise, it's kind of more of the same, but a little expanded. Uh, but god damn it, the story is so fucking bad. Which is unfortunate because the first one's story was incredible. It was so good. That ending when you find out what Zero Dawn was, fuck, it was sick. Oh,
So you're telling me that they have like space beings or space humans come back?
yes, yes.
They could have just used Helgens. That would have just been a mind blow and just weird. Well, it
Literal
sounded
space.
like they kind of went, yeah, they kind of went with that idea.
I'm just I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh and I need to replay Horizon 2. But man, I remember finishing that game and being like, "Oh, thank God it's over." So and I've never been the biggest Horizon fan in general, to be fair. Um I also feel that franchise is cursed. Like it's wildly successful, but it always comes out near a bigger game. Like the first one came out like a few days before Breath of the Wild, and the second one came out the same week as Elden Ring. So, uh, yeah. So
I think that's
I get.
just
Oh, sorry. Go
the
ahead.
publisher. I think that's just the publisher not thinking, or they're like, oh, entirely too much faith on our money. Let's put it out during this week.
I think it is more of a we think we are the biggest fish or this appeals to a different audience, but I can tell y'all right now from the success of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, there is very few fish in the game industry currently bigger than Zelda. Very few. Um, so yeah. I think this makes sense. I think it's kind of a bummer that we're not gonna see another Killzone for a long time. Uh, I'm honestly more annoyed that we're probably never gonna see a Resistance game ever again. I loved Resistance 1, 2, and 3. I played so much Resistance 2 co-op, like that 8-player co-op mode, and I played so much Resistance 3 multiplayer, and I loved its campaign. The Resistance 3 campaign is genuinely one of the best shooter campaigns ever made, in my opinion. The only bad part about it is the fact that playing it today, it kind of looks like shit. At the time, it looked amazing, but like I'm like, why is everything so blurry? Did somebody like put Vaseline on my glasses? You know, like yeah. So no, I have just come to terms with certain games I love are never getting sequels. Like I'm never getting a Cameo 2. I'm never getting a Viva Pinata 3. It'll be a cold day in hell before EA makes another Burnout. Uh, so you know.
So true. So true.
Oh yeah, well you and I talked about you and I talked about that a bunch of times where just they're all like PlayStation has owned so many franchises that they're never ever gonna touch ever again.
Yeah.
It's never just it's not gonna happen. Just don't even bother. Like I could see us getting a new Sly Cooper maybe one day. That one I
Right.
actually
That would
still
be
have some hope
amazing.
for. But as
Oh, they don't have a
for
slight plushie.
we're obviously still going to get a new Ratchet that was leaked in the Insomniac leaks. Um,
Yeah.
Naughty. So this isn't on the docket, but as long as we're talking about PlayStation IP, I did want to bring it up. Naughty Dog is apparently working on a new IP with unprecedented freedom. So they said we are working on a new IP, and they are very thankful that Sony is allowing them to do something new. It is not The Last of Us Part 3. Um, yeah, so you know it might be their Breath of the Wild, which I'd be down with. Naughty Dog has a great track record. They're a studio that does a lot of cool shit. Uh, I've been actually replaying Last of Us 2 with my girlfriend because she's been wanting to see it, and dude, Last of Us 2 is a fucking amazing video game. Its
That
story's a
is.
Right.
little rough. Its story's a little rough at points, but man, actually playing that game, it is super fun. Yeah.
I cannot wait for the sequel series. I think they just finished up wrapping or finished up
Oh,
filming.
for season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, the TV
Yeah, it
show?
should be next
Yes.
year is the release for season 2, which
Yeah,
I'm
so
pumped.
I am pumped, but I'm also like me and my girlfriend are like crap, we need to finish this game immediately. Cuz I played through both the games. I played through the second one when it came out. She's never played through the second one, so we've been playing through it together. And we're like, okay, we need to hustle this, finishing this along. So, I've been meaning to pick up the first season on 4K Blu-ray. That's a definite one that I want to pick up eventually. That show is amazing. I realize it's just kind of retelling the game with some extra flavor, but man, uh, anyway. So, anyway, the next news story we got is pretty chill. It's, hey, Monster Hunter is getting a beta. The new Monster Hunter getting a
Started getting a
beta.
beta? What?
Yeah, so if you have PlayStation Plus, you'll get access to the beta tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and then it'll run for 2 days until 8 p.m. And then if you're on the other platforms, it starts on Halloween and goes until November 3rd. So also 8 p.m. to 7 p.m. So yeah, I'm excited for this game. It reminds me of the Monster Hunter I really liked, which was World, and I'm excited to check out a beta. Crossplay is going to be active once the PC and Xbox versions are live, so you'll be able to play the crossplays and mess around and all that. Yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah. Lucy, do you Monster Hunt at all?
Sadly, I do not.
You do or do not?
Do not. I
Ah,
don't.
you should give it a try. I do. I will say either get a guide or a friend who knows what they're doing to help you because it is a very dense video game.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely need to, because just like Elden Ring, I had a friend buy me the game just so we'd play together,
Mm-hmm.
and he never played. He never played.
Ah,
So
Rude.
it just sat there, and I'm like, okay, it was your money, and now it's just taking space in my like library. Like he made me like at this point I kind of feel like I should have just been like a bit of a dick and just like bought a game I wanted to play because I was gonna play it, but I was excited. I was like, oh cool, I like playing Demon Souls. I still go back every like once a year, reinstall it, and try to get as far as I can. But no, Elden Ring, I think I only made it. I had no idea what I was doing. Zero clue. I just went around trying to figure out things, and you know, 2 hours in, and I stopped playing.
all right.
That's fair.
But Monster Hunter, I'd probably have more fun. Realistically, a lot of my friends do play it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I like the idea of a cooking cat, a chef cat.
It's the cutest thing in the
So
world.
It's
I swear to
uh,
God.
the palicos are adorable. I get so if you hit up our Discord, in particular Joe, Ronnie, and Aaron, and a couple other people are all just full force Monster Hunter people, along with Midnight and a couple others. Um, so yeah, no, definitely go ahead and like give them a holla. Um,
I'll think about it. Because like it just seemed like one of those games that'll take a lot of my time, and I'm already like itching to get back into Ark Evolved, or Ark Survival Evolved,
that's fair.
and
Mm.
as well as getting back into the Division 2 again, because now I have a PC that can handle it.
All right. So this next news story will have M interested in particular.
I actually
Beyond,
read this article before the show. I was like,
yeah, I knew the second that I post this in Discord, she's gonna read this immediately. So,
I actually read it before you posted it in the Discord. So,
oh, okay. Well, hey, for those of you who don't know, M is a huge Beyond Good and Evil 2 fan. Beyond Good and Evil fan. The second one's not out yet. Good and Evil fan. She has played through the game multiple times. Cosplays Jade. Loves the franchise. Um, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is somehow still in development, and it has a new creative director. Fozzie Mesmar is taking on the role after Emil Moral's passing. This continues to be one of the gaming industry's biggest mysteries. They revealed the game back in 2009. Holy fuck.
yeah.
Rebranded it
Yeah.
and re-announced it in E3 2017, and they have not really talked about it much since. The game's creative director passed away in June of last year, but apparently they're still working on it. Um, yeah, this is wild. This is wild to me. This game has been in development, like, God. This is so okay. So apparently they first revealed it back in 2008 with a trailer with Jaden Page from the first game, while Ubisoft showed bits and pieces, and then in 2017 they said they went through a major overhaul, and now it's a new cast and characters. And apparently they've still been working on it, but the game has had multiple setbacks, and oh Okay.
Whole lot of controversy in that studio, especially with Michel Ancel, who's currently, I believe, in Australia.
I just
He had
I
some allegations against him a few years ago and was just like, "No, I am retired. I'm gonna go this way."
I have zero faith in this game being good. I have
I
like
mean, this has
Respectfully,
been
I have no faith that it's going to come out.
That's honestly probably the real
you
answer.
can go fuck yourself, Lucy. God. No,
So even
like
you know,
this game has been in development hell longer than Duke Nukem was.
yes,
Okay.
I think this might be one of the longest development hell stories.
It is the longest now.
Yeah, this is just sad at this point. If I'm being completely honest, like it is just sad, and I'm surprised it hasn't been canceled. I don't know why it hasn't been canceled. I like, uh I'm curious to see if it actually comes out. That is my first question. I was like, okay, is this actually ever gonna come out? Yeah. Oh, still excited for them.
I As soon as I see more of either Jaden Page or my foul mouth space monkey and the pirates, I will be excited. Until then, I'm still holding out hope that we're going to get a sequel and Ubisoft really needs to get their shit together. Because at the moment, they are still high on my shit list.
I am gonna be real. I can't tell you the last time they put out a game that I really enjoyed. Um,
Don't you have like a 8 boner for them?
I do because I do think they are the worst. I think they are the worst, laziest publisher in AAA gaming.
Yeah, because all they've been coming out with is Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, and look how those
You
are
leave
doing.
my Assassin's Creed alone. We've had quite a few good ones, all right?
That was the
Uh,
last good one, Lucy. The last good
I
one.
like Valhalla. Leave me alone. Mirage was
Okay,
actually pretty good.
okay,
It also hinted
I'm
at
big
a
on Norse
little
mythology, so
Lovecraftian stuff, okay?
I do not care for
okay,
any
I'll
of
give
those
you that. But
games.
the
But I do. I have it tattooed on my body. And
Hold on,
I still love the games.
I'm pulling up the Assassin's Creed wiki to see the last time I enjoyed an Assassin's Creed game.
I bet my money it's gonna be the Ezio trilogy. Watch.
Um,
I'm gonna say number 3.
Brotherhood.
Okay, so surprisingly, it was a
No,
little more recent.
Assassin's Creed 3.
It was Black Flag. I really enjoyed Black Flag.
Okay,
There we go. No, that's the safe option.
Uh,
that's a very safe
I
option, but it's still a good one to
Hey,
say.
I
ooh, it
did
is
like
amazing.
Syndicate. I thought Syndicate
Okay.
was pretty good. Unity pissed me off because I thought it was an amazing setting that they entirely wasted with a piece of shit game.
Yeah,
Um,
say they shit the bed on that one.
yep. So
But it got so much better. It did. It
that
got a lot better once they fixed the bugs. That is 100%.
Yeah, as soon as they
I
fix the bugs, 10 times better.
I
Absolutely.
hear it runs great on the Series X because they upscale it and it does a bunch of cool shit. But I
Might have
probably
to
won't
look
ever
into
go
that.
back to it. Uh, so yeah, and to be fair, it's been the different variations of the same game from 1 until Syndicate, and now it's been the different variations of Origins, and I'm just like, cool, whatever.
Well,
Which,
Mirage was a bit more like the original game. It's like it felt like an NCO game, but the setting was more along the lines of Altair mixed with Origin. So
and,
I
Mm.
and this, and I'm gonna be real, this new one, I'm like, too little, too late. Ghost of Tsushima exists, dude. You got to
Yeah,
this
I
party
was
too late.
I was talking about this with one of my coworkers the other day. I was like, okay, Assassin's Creed Shadows had prime opportunity to come out years ago, like well before
when it
Ghosts
was
came out.
leaked or like
When it was
rumored
leaked.
to.
Yeah, exactly. They had the prime opportunity to release it then. Why wait until next February to release it?
Well,
I'm still getting it. I want it. It's the
I mean,
nope.
it's
I
the set pieces.
understand
It's the
wholeheartedly.
history that I'm all for, and
Oh, absolutely.
I love when they wrap like real world history with their
I,
mythos.
look,
And
I. The problem is they have gotten too into their own mythos. Like, I really enjoyed the series, like I said, when it was like closer to real world history, because I am a fucking history dork, and I did love all those settings. In fact, I actually did enjoy. I even enjoyed parts of 3 that were like, you guys could have made this a lot more interesting, but this is what actually happened in that. So okay, I get why you did it this way.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna bring up 3.
Um, you know, my favorites are 2 and 4. 2 and 4 are my two favorites.
So suck it.
I mean, Altair is or no,
Ezio
Ezio.
Auditore. Thank you very much.
Ezio, Ezio was the goat. I mean, you can't.
Ezio
He was the
Auditore
only
de
assassin to
Firenze.
have 4 or 5 different games.
Yeah,
'Cause
he
you had a
had
couple. You
2
had the main
Brotherhood
3.
Revelations.
Hmm.
That's it.
Wasn't he in a mobile?
I'm just looking at, so they just have the main franchise listed on the Wikipedia here.
He also got his own movie,
I am.
animated. Very sad,
Okay.
but loved it.
But yeah,
Beautiful.
I loved 2, and I really liked Brotherhood. I really liked Black Flag. I thought Syndicate was pretty dope. I did love me the Murder Cane.
That
Uh,
was that was a nice touch, I will say that.
but like, I just, and the thing is like very little about these games ever changes, and now it's like getting, and the thing is like that wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't also like Far Cry uses this formula and Watch Dogs uses this formula and fucking like every game they make uses this climb the tower to reveal the map. Okay, you revealed the map. Here's all the collectibles and side bullshit. And it's just like, I don't care anymore.
I find it to be comfort food.
And that's fine. It is
It's
okay
like
if it's
wearing a
comfort food.
comfort blanket while I play those games.
And that's
Although
completely okay.
Far Cry, I just feel like they have no idea what they're doing. I no longer know if their universe is the same universe or it's just like a fever dream.
I
I
Probably more of a fever dream at this point. Shit.
it's like somebody took a mountain of acid and LSD and just wrote these into a novelization of what happened.
Jesus
Look,
Christ, that's graphic.
I am the person
But
who
it's
just wants.
true.
I am the person who just wants them to keep making Blood Dragon games. That's what I
Oh
want.
my god. I hate that I can't play that on the PC. For some reason, it just never wants to work.
That's unfortunate. I think they did a port to consoles at some point, like for like the newer
Yeah.
consoles. I have it on the PS3, but I have mostly played it on the PS4 actually. So yeah, no, that. But yeah, you know what's funny? I had this conversation like a year and a half ago, and I had a coworker who would listen to the podcast, and he came up to me at my desk, and he's just like, you made me realize all the Ubisoft games are the same. I did not recognize this for years.
Until now.
Until
So
now.
thank you, my friend.
And I'm like, you know, yeah, and that's fine,
Division.
dude. And, you know, oh, the Division's a different one. I'll give you that. That's a different one. That is a different one. And I love the concept of the Division. I just do not have time for more live service games in my life.
Is
So
it live service?
it is definitely a live service game. I don't know if they're still supporting it,
Oh
but
yeah, they are.
okay, then yeah,
Oh,
that's a live
wait,
service
Ghost
game.
Recon.
Ghost
Tom
Recon is
Clancy's
still
games.
the newest Ghost Recon is very much big open map, climb to the top of the tower, reveal the map, do the side things. The newest one is very much that.
I haven't played Breakpoint. I own it, but I have not played it. I like Wildlands.
Wildlands was similar to that also. Fucking Outlaws is that, the new Star Wars game. They just
There's
make
no
this...
towers for you to climb.
True, there is no fucking towers. Well, good on them for that.
See, that was when I was saying, when I first started playing, there's no towers for you to climb and be like, oh yeah, here's all the side content with this faction. Here's all of this. Here's this bullshit. No, you walk in, the map is already there for you. So there you go. They broke it. Right there.
Cool. They changed one thing. Fucking great. You know,
Salty bastard.
I.
You know what? As soon as like I'm gonna buy the new wristblade for Shadows, and I'm gonna be wearing it when we talk about the game. Be like, what have you been playing?
Nice.
Well, I've been playing Assassin's Creed, and it is amazing.
Look, here's the thing. I have no problem with people playing these games.
I cannot wait for that episode now.
Look,
you know what? You were making me so spiteful about it that I might pay the $800 for that samurai helmet.
It's your money, bro. Do you? Look,
yeah.
look.
You do you, bro.
You do you. I have come on this show multiple times and talked a whole lot of shit. And my advice to people is, look, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I don't fucking care. You know, unless it's actively hurting the industry. Like, when people were buying fucking scalped graphics cards at, like, double the price, that's when I was like, no, you're a moron and you're actively hurting the industry and you're gonna fuck us over.
Fuck you.
And you did. And if you bought a scalped graphics card, you should be ashamed of yourself because now they know people are gonna pay $1,500 for a fucking graphics card. You are part of the problem on why we're at where we're at.
This is why we don't have nice things.
Exactly.
See?
No, Ubisoft actually did put out a game this year that is really awesome and really fucking cool and not what they normally make, which was Assassin's Creed, or not Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia. Fucking Assassin's Creed made. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a Metroidvania game that's cool as hell.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that.
Yeah. Sorry,
they disbanded the team.
Yeah, no, they killed the...
Yeah, see, I was pissed off too, okay?
Yeah, so...
We've been wanting a Prince of Persia proper for so long. And for, like, my fellow, like, military, like, novel buffs, we want another Splinter Cell. That last one was... I loved it. It was great.
Which was the last one?
No, it was Blacklist.
I did not play that one.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
So Ubisoft, Splinter Cell when?
Yeah, that's
Resident Evil 2 when?
They keep fucking hinting at him in every fucking game that they even X-Defiant, which is so much better than Call of Duty. I still think
I highly disagree.
It's fun.
I highly disagree, but okay. That game is we have Call of Duty at home.
COD at home.
But like, I like it because I'm a huge... Alright, yeah, I guess it is just because I'm a Ubisoft fan. They have a lot of the IPs that I love. I'm
a little Ubisoft fanboy.
I guess I am, yeah.
See, if X-Defiant got really weird and was like, here's the Rayman faction, I'd be like, alright, I'm here for this. You know?
Let's go.
Need to. I want an Assassin's Creed faction.
You know, here is the Scott Pilgrim faction because they published the Scott Pilgrim game.
We need another one. We need another Scott Pilgrim video game.
Also, my other problem with Ubisoft, this is probably the one thing I find most annoying about them, is their PC launcher is by far the worst one. It is such a bloated, annoying piece of shit. It is so bad that I refuse to play their games on PC. I outright refuse. I'm just like, no, fuck off. I'll play this somewhere else. Hey! Thank you for the sub! Thank you, Steph! Hey, game news bitches! Y'all beautiful. Much love.
Love you, Steph. We love
Thank you for the $2.50.
Hey.
that
He can now have
pays.
another cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Oh wait, coffee is like $10 now.
Yeah.
And depending on where you go.
Yeah, I got a mocha this morning, so yeah, this was about $7. So,
See?
that's yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so the last Splinter
Oh.
Cell that I really liked was Conviction.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't put out a new one in 11 years. Oh my god, that's so sad. What the
Holy
fuck?
Sam Fisher has been in Wildlands. He has been in. I know he had something to do with Breakout or whatever it's called. He's been featured in Siege. He's been hinted in every one of their games. But where is his game?
There's a faction for him in X Defiant.
Yeah, his
no.
faction. Like, what the fuck?
Can you turn up Lucy? He's a bit low. Sure. Absolutely.
Oh god.
All right.
Oh no.
Dear.
Don't worry. All right, there you go.
My.
I turned him up to 85 because he was a bit loud on my end.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. It's not your fault. It's the audio mixing software that OBS has is garbage.
No,
say
it's
it's
just
a
because
wonky
I'm a
piece of shit.
Ubisoft. No, it's because I'm a Ubisoft fanboy and you don't want
Yes.
to hear me.
We must
Hey,
we must
hey.
suppress the Ubisoft voices. They made that fucking Avatar game was that shit. Dear God.
It was not. I like it.
Oh,
Friend liked it. One of my other friends has been trying to
Oh
get
my,
me to
and
play
it's
it.
fucking gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
My issue with those games, like I said, my issue with these games is they're not like awful video games. It's that they are all almost the same video game in different settings. It is not that they are bad. It is that they are almost all the same game in different settings.
And I'll give you that. However, when it comes to Avatar, I feel like when they decided to want to do that IP, they're like, that makes perfect with our formula, and it's not like weird. Because, like, yeah, you have to craft your arrows, you have to go unlock certain waypoints, and you can fly around and do it. It actually works really well with their formula.
Yeah, and the thing is just like, dude, people can enjoy these games. Like, the one thing I can say is like, people get upset about negative reviews or negative comments on podcasts, ours or others, and my response is like, you don't have to agree. That's okay, dude. And also, like,
Yeah.
reviews are subjective, or not subjective, are like they're people's opinions. There is no. This is actually uh, a a discussion I had years ago when it came to media literacy, and it's one of the discussions that made me realize everyone on the internet has very low media literacy and is probably fucking stupid. And it's I don't think you're stupid, but
I just like sometimes when I do my reviews and I'm like, God, am I just a fanboy or am I just wrong? I don't know.
I also am. Here's the thing: when you come on here and you listen to our reviews, you can tell Aaron and I, in particular, have worked in games media for 14 years now. So we are old and jaded. Aaron especially is so fucking jaded at this point. I still have a little bit of hope, a little bit of the glimmer, but Aaron's just like, I'm dead inside.
Nothing.
Yeah, so, but like the thing is like years and years ago, Stephanie Sterling put out a video that there is no such thing as an objective review. And that's true, because here's what an objective review of video games would be like. The game has sound. The game is made in Unreal Engine. Because games have this weird middle ground of being a product that you buy, but it's also art. And the thing about almost all art, um, yeah, but yeah, the all art is inherently subjective. Like there are objective parts to game reviews, like the game is set in blank era, it is from X franchise, but Grandpa's trying. It is set in X franchise, whatever it is, but for the most part, it's entirely the opinion, which is why what I tell people is go find for game reviews, find someone whose views you align with. As far as like your taste, and find a couple of those people. So like, if you hear me talk shit about the new Assassin's Creed, how it's more of the same, and it's just like I'm tired of it. Like, yeah, of course I'm gonna say that because I've been saying that every year since 2020. So, you know, yeah. So it's one of those things where just like how if you come on here and you hear, me and Aaron talk about how the Tony Hawk remake is dope as hell. Of
Mm-hmm.
course that's gonna be the case. We love those games. They're amazing.
Absolutely.
So it's.
I just wish I had somebody to play them with, but I have
Uh,
a PlayStation.
I play them alone because that's how I prefer to play those games. uh,
Yeah.
I love the
uh,
fact that 30 years later, like the first Tony Hawk game wasn't that like 94,
it was like
96?
90. No, it was like 99. I'm gonna say it was like 98 or 99. Comment in the chat.
Like,
Tony Hawk is dope as fuck. Wait, you can play with other people? Golly gee, I was lied to.
but
In
like
the
Tony
chat.
Hawk, like that's like every time Tony Hawk comes up, we use the same slang for it. Like Tony Hawk, like that comment. Tony Hawk is dope as fuck. Like we were saying that
Oh.
back in the day, and that
Yeah,
still translates today.
the first Tony Hawk game came out in 1999. It released
Yeah, it
first
came.
on. Oh, sorry. Go
Keep
ahead.
going.
Still
I was
amazing.
going to say something. No, I was going to say he came out with a game every year from 1999 up until 2005.
Yeah, those games
Oh
kind
no,
of started.
2000. Yeah, 2009.
They started to fall
Under
off after.
Project
Uh,
8, Improving Ground.
no, after Underground.
we don't
Oh,
talk about
I
those.
like Thug.
Yeah, Underground's
Um,
dope. It's after Underground
Underground
where it
2
falls
was my
off.
favorite.
Underground 2 was good. I liked Underground 2. I personally am a big fan of 3 and 4. Tony Hawk
Yeah.
Pro Skater 3 and 4. I think that after Thug 2, though, it kind of just falls off a cliff super hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was.
Oh, that Wii version.
Yeah, and then it's kind
Yeah.
of bad until you hit like the remake of 1 and 2, which was awesome. I actually got that game on. I bought it on PlayStation, and then I would later bought it on PC to play on Steam Deck, and it's actually perfect on the Steam Deck. It's super good. Um, Comment: Tony Hawk's TikTok is cool. You get to see his tricks that were incorporated into the games. He's very encouraging. Tony Hawk seems like such a good, positive person. He seems like such a good dude. He's just here to have a good time, skateboard, not be recognized as Tony Hawk, or people to go like,
Did you?
"Hey."
You look like Tony Hawk. I was like, I am.
No, it's just like my favorite is when he doesn't let people know. He's like, "Hey, you look like Tony Hawk," and you're like, he's like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." One of my favorites is when like he's like skateboarding and some kid yells at him, "Do a kickflip," and he does one, and then they're like, "Whoa!" It's so good.
Like, do you know who this man is? Apparently not.
Like,
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that's Beyond Good and Evil and Ubisoft. I think that's all the news for the week. On to what we've been playing. I didn't get what you've been playing. Did you have anything?
I didn't play a whole lot only because of work being a bitch, but I can say I did beat Astro Bot.
Yay! That game is cool as hell.
Yay!
I
And it's
I
definitely in my top 3 for game of the year.
d- I it is actually in mine. Yeah. It's so for those of you, Astro Bot is a game that came out in early September. It is a platformer that is kind of celebrating the history of PlayStation. I'll pull up some gameplay and we can talk about it real quick because I haven't made progress on it yet. I'm kind of waiting until the PlayStation Pro is here and out and I can play it in the office. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I played yeah, you beat Astro Bot. Did you end up getting the platinum and 100%ing, or is that gonna be something you're working on later?
That's going to be something I'm working on later, for sure.
Uh,
Because I'm still
yeah.
missing some bots, I'm still missing some pieces, and I have the speed runs to do as well.
Oh god, I am not looking forward to doing those for the platinum. Oh my god, that's the part of the
You
platinum I'm
can
not
do
looking.
it.
I know I can do it. It's just that it's gonna be a bitch.
A
Uh,
bitch.
but
Yeah.
I absolutely love this game. If you have been a longtime PlayStation fan, I think all the references are really cool, and it is genuinely an amazing platformer. And we don't get a lot of these. Like, Mario has kind of been the gold standard for platforming forever, and this game is
Mm-hmm.
as good as some of those Mario games. Like they are. This game is creative and has catchy music and looks beautiful and does some fun gimmicks with the PlayStation controller. Like man, if you like platformers at all, you're a fan of the Crash Bandicoots, the Spyros, the Mario's, any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we okay, you finished Astrobot. Yeah, I feel ya. I didn't get to play a lot this week myself because of the stomach flu. I was
Mm.
in bed sleeping or vomiting most of the week. So what I did get to play, I put a little time into WoW. The 20th anniversary event is out, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's been cool. They have all these little booths that like and events going on. Like they have an event called Mount Mania where everyone in the area goes up to like this area and the NPC will like call out a mount and you have to get on it to get points and whoever gets on the most
Mm-hmm.
mounts wins. And the best moments are like when they call out like a super rare mount. Like that like I was there when they called out the Karaji Black Battle Tank, which is a mount that only 0.01% of the community has.
Wait,
Uh,
what?
yeah, because you can only get that mount for like a couple of months in most cases, and it was like a
Uh,
crazy, insane grind. Like it basically required an entire guild of 40 people to help you grind for it.
oof.
Um,
Well,
Um, or that like one they called out is there is a mount that is a big pink rocket with zebra print seats called the Big Love Rocket, and it's the Valentine's Day reward. And that mount has like a 1% drop chance, and I got it 2 years ago. Yeah, I know the name is intentional. They had to actually change it because a lot of people found it in
I'm
our
a
promo.
12-year-old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. But but like they called out the Big Love Rocket, and like me and two other people were the only ones in the crowd who had it, and everyone else was like, "Fucking really?" So like, and they'll call out mounts that are like only linked to the trading card game. That if you go on eBay, it costs like $1,000 to get one. So it's
nah. Nah,
like,
fam. Fuck that.
it's
Fuck that.
like, so yeah, and it's super funny when one of those comes up.
See?
So
Just like, nope.
they'll like call out mounts that like everyone has. They'll call out sort of rare mounts, and then they'll be like, "Here's this mount for being a top 1% PvPer 5 years ago." It's
Cool.
so funny.
Thanks, I
Uh,
guess.
yeah. So that's been cool. They also put out a what's it called? They put out like a trivia thing where you'll answer trivia questions and get a daily quest done. They put out a special event where you kind of fly around killing previous world bosses. They put in a new raid. It's a 15-man raid, and it is hard as hell.
I'm sure.
Like I did a pug of it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I did get a clear at least, but man, that's rough. They brought back some old dungeons as part of the time walking event. Like there's just tons and tons of stuff, and then they went back and they remade some of the most famous cosmetic sets from the game's history, and made them something you could grind currency from the event for. So I want to get all of them for all 13 classes, which means I'm going to be farming this for. I think people looked it up. The minimum would be about 4 weeks. So doing every
Okay.
quest every week for about 4 weeks, which not bad. The sets are awesome. I think they would actually be the primary set I'd run on most classes. I think the exceptions would be my druid, who looks like a shamanistic crazy birdman werewolf. And then the other one would be my priest, because I really like my priest angel vibes I got going on for it. I
Hmm.
don't, you know. Hold on, let me see if I can get a screenshot of my druid so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, here we go. Behold my druid.
Ah, this is a
Okay,
really big druid.
that's pretty freaking metal. Like,
Yes.
holy shit.
He
It
can't.
looks like you ate 3 druids.
Well, he's in his werewolf form. I can transform him back into a human, but why would I do that?
Why would you? That looks
Why
awesome.
would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, that looks metal, and you don't want to change anything that looks fucking metal.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun transmog to make. Like that was like I was looking through like all my like different gear to give him a cool outfit, and I was like, yeah, this looks dope as hell. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I've been having a great time with that event. It's cool. I think that it does a great job showcasing the history of WoW and all the different things that are in the game,
Wow.
and wow, because hey,
Wow.
that game turns 20 next month. I've been playing this.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Unironically. Unironically.
Unironically, wow.
I have been playing that game off and on for 20 years. Yeah.
Ooh.
It is the second best game I have ever played.
What's the first?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Ooh. So, worried about Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out?
Um, cautiously optimistic. I've watched a lot of the footage. The gameplay improvements seem fine. My two biggest concerns right now are one, it looks a little off model. Like they did a comparison video that I'll pull up, where they did a. I need to get back into. Comment in the chat. I need to get back into FF14. Speaking of MMOs, I don't think I'm ever going back. The game finally broke me. We talked about this. We talked about this like months ago. I got to the midpoint of Dawn Trail, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. I don't care anymore. And WoW is good again, so I have no reason to play this anymore. And then my girlfriend got to the end of Endwalker and got really pissed off at the fact that she didn't meet the gear check for the final part of it. I was just like, yep,
Oh,
she's done too.
wow.
So
Oh.
no more FF14 in this house unless significant things change.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna show up like a comparison for Metal Gear. Um, so on the right is the original, on the left is the remake, and my biggest concerns are like one is the filter. They don't have it in the regular game. Apparently, it's going to be an option you can turn on to have the green filter, which I will happily do.
Okay.
Um,
Gladly.
and then the other issue I have is, like I said, all the characters or most of the characters look weird and off model. Like they don't quite look right most of the time. Like Big Boss here does not look correct. You know.
I'm not seeing it.
You're not seeing. Oh, you're not seeing the video?
No. I'm not seeing what you're talking about because he looks fine to me.
I don't know, like just something about the face and the model look off to me. And same thing with like almost all the other characters except Sokolov. But it might just be me. I know I talked to Anthony about it, and we were very much yeah. I don't like better graphics. I do like better graphics though. I think with the I think the lack of a filter looks fucking weird. That's honestly the worst part about it though, which they said that's going to be a toggle, so that part doesn't necessarily bother me. But
I thought my friends were mean with the old jokes.
yeah. WoW looks fantastic nowadays. I actually think Final Fantasy XIV after the graphics update looks pretty good as well, but that's not the problem I have with that game. Anyway, yeah, that 20th anniversary event is cool. They did kind of ruin some goodwill though.
He made me this way.
Zeus. I was actually thinking of the Darth Vader. I am what you made me. Lordy. Yeah. So anyway, back to
Bronson, you do give off Obi-Wan vibes.
Oh well, thank you. I in my older age, I am being a fucking hermit who just hangs out in my own little hovel all the time. So you're right. The only difference is, I do it with a partner instead of entirely alone.
The very last podcast, he will be struck down and his clothes will just fall to the ground.
Yes.
And then start season 2. Ghost Bronson.
Jesus Christ.
I used to cry. So Wolf in the comments, I used to cry when I insulted, but he kept to go harder on the ribbing, and now I'm jaded as fuck, and people think I'm super mean. It's true. It's so good. So good. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see. Anyway, Lucy, you played so many games, I'm going to pick and choose off this list. Because holy shit, there's so many.
The life of a streamer. Yep.
I mean, valid, but holy shit, dude.
Alright, so we'll do Black Ops 6, because I did that. Wait, what?
I said the ADHD in me is...
I mean,
also valid.
Yeah, like last week I did 5, and I thought that was a lot. But you've done 8.
Those are just the main ones I played. I played more than that.
I mean, that's
I've
fair.
also been playing Spyro on the Switch on car rides.
Fair. I put in some time into college football this week, but I didn't feel it notable to talk about. Hey, my dynasty's doing well. I've been undefeated 3 years in a row. So, all right. So anyway, M's taking a quick minute to step out. Yeah, I think that this week I didn't play that much just because like I said, I was sick. But I did get to play Black Ops 6, as did you.
Yes. I'm just gonna pick like 3 or 4 of those to talk about because really some of them have been out long enough. Really don't need to talk about them. And Cyberpunk's great and all. It's just because I got the new graphics card. Some of them are just because of the graphics.
Cyberpunk has been Bronson was dead but still performed his civic duty. Yes, I did vote. What's your excuse? I had to walk in. I had to walk in there with my cane, but I did it. But no. So I. Oh lordy! All right. So, but yes, and we've also talked Cyberpunk to death on this show. between me playing it, Aaron playing it, and then how much it was in the news. So Black Ops 6 though, hey, so what did you play? Because I want to have a baseline here for what we're discussing.
Okay, so I haven't played the campaign yet. I've been wanting to. I just haven't had the opportunity. I've mostly stuck to zombies and multiplayer. Mostly zombies.
Okay, so that's actually opposed to me because I have played a little bit of the campaign, about an hour and a half to 2 hours, but I have played almost an entire day's worth of multiplayer. Um,
I've been trying to avoid multiplayer because I found out that I'm very sweaty and I don't even try to be sweaty. And it's because the first couple matches that I played while playing on the Game Pass,
mhm.
I swept the floor with everyone. I was best play on every match that I played, and I was kind of disgusted with myself.
That's not the beat. Hey man, if you're good at the game, you're good at the game. Don't hate the player. So yeah, so a lot of people, a lot of the discussion about this game is like skill-based matchmaking and how it's affecting the game and things of that nature. Um, I think all of those arguments are fucking stupid. Legitimately, I'm so tired of hearing Call of Duty players complain about skill-based matchmaking. When, okay, so this was a news story we talked about weeks and weeks ago. I'm just going to review it now real quick, which is they did a study where they turned off skill-based matchmaking. They turned it off without telling anybody. And what that would lead to is just massive blowouts. It would lead to massive blowouts because there's nothing being done to put you in similar groups. And people would end up leaving the game earlier. And when they turned it back on, um, people would keep playing longer because they were getting closer matches. What this skill-based matching complaining bullshit is two things. One, the Call of Duty player base has just gotten better at the game, and these old dudes who used to dominate are getting just stomped or getting in close matches. Um, and two, it's streamers complaining they can't just like blow people up on every single match nonstop. And they actually have to, God forbid, get good at the game. Yeah, I know, weird.
I don't get mad when I have a bad match. I
I
get
don't.
irritated that the same guy may kill me and teabag me repeatedly. That's frustrating for anybody.
I
But
don't.
like
I
I'll
don't.
have matches where I'm just like, oh, okay, this is just a friendly match, all right. And then look at that at the end of the match, and I'm like, oh,
I don't get upset. Okay, so and this might be because I come from a different background. I used to play competitive Halo, like tournament level Halo. I used to, and I'm in the fighting game community. Both of these scenes are
Hmm.
all about like learning from your losses and getting better. It's not about like blowing people up, right? So like hearing people complain about like, oh man, all these matches are total sweat fest. I'm like, yes, that is how competitive video game work. Do you not understand the concept? And then people are like, I just want to log on and chill after a night, and I'm tired of playing with sweats. And I'm like, then don't play a competitive game.
find
That's the
play
only
some
thing that you need to do.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, like go
Seriously,
or like play the campaign or like play a like yes, it's so dumb. It's so
play
dumb.
something
And
else if you don't want to get your ass handed to you.
and,
Okay?
and or get good.
Or get good.
Alternatively, get good. Like the and I can give you an example on why skill-based matching works from the fighting game community. All right.
Hmm.
So in Street Fighter 6, there are two ways you can do matches or that are like match made and not going into a lobby. It's you can do ranked match, which gives you people of a similar skill to you. So like if I play so I am a plat 5 Akuma player. I'm almost diamond. I will get matched against players who plat 3, 4, 5 and diamond 1. That is the range I will get of players. So they're all around my skill level. If I do player match, however, I can get anything. So I can get the guy who's like a Iron 4, has no idea what he's doing, and just blow him up. That's not fun. I can also get the guy who is a like super highly ranked master rank player, and then I can get blown up, and that's not fun. You know, like that's why skill-based matchmaking exists, and it's also similar to how Street Fighter 6 is like, well, what if you get really low ranked on purpose? It's like, well, until you hit platinum in that game, you get a win streak bonus. So if you like purposely tanked your placement matches, um, then it doesn't matter because you're going to win a bunch of games and get out of whatever rank you're in real fast until you hit platinum. So like perfect example of this is I used to be genuinely dog shit with Akuma, my current main in Street Fighter 6. And then I figured him out. I figured out how he functions and whatnot. And I got some of his stuff down. And I shot through silver and gold like a fucking rocket. Um, yeah, so, but yeah, so you mostly played zombies, right?
For the most part, I mean, like multiplayer. To be honest, is multiplayer. You're gonna play some team deathmatch. You're gonna play some
Domination,
one
hardpoint.
domination. Multiplayer never really changes. Is it fun? And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really don't think that there's anything noteworthy with the multiplayer.
I like the fact that they change different stuff depending on who's developing it. Like, this one has that whole system where if you pick 3 of the same type of perk, you get an extra bonus. So, like, for example, like, I think that's a nice little strategy to creating your classes. So, like, I actually found that really cool where, like, on my long machine guns class that I made, I did all the green ones because I tend to get a bunch of kills in a row with that class. So, like, I'll boom, 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 and then get my score streaks real quick versus I'm running around a lot more with my assault rifle and SMG classes, so I'm running the one that gives you more healing and faster sprint when you get kills. So it encourages you in a way to choose between, do I want a variety of perks or do I want the same type of perk so I can get an extra one that helps those excel. And I find that to be a very interesting choice that a lot of people in the competitive scene aren't realizing. Um, so yeah, um, we'll go through the rest of multiplayer real quick here because I don't have much to say. I've really been enjoying it. I do think the maps for the most part are too big for the 6v6. I think they either need to move to 8v8 or pick smaller maps. Because like there are some maps where like I'm like that one map that's like in a soccer stadium. I'm like, where the hell is everybody? You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was noticing that too, and I don't like the way that one's like made at all.
Yeah. Like
It's like a corner of the stadium, and just it's like a giant L-shaped arena match, and I was not a fan of that.
I really like that map that's like on the rooftop of the apartment complex. Like that one's really cool. You get a lot of good sight lines and get like you get that one hallway upstairs that people like just ends up being just a murderer's row. I really like that one. I really like the one where it's like a giant square with multiple levels, and like you'll do like hard point, and the hard point will be in the dead center, and it just ends up being constant grenade spam and explosions and flashbangs going off. Um, but like I feel like just certain maps are too big for 6-on-6, and they need to add an 8v8 playlist or some more maps. Like it feels like that. Like have you done the map where it's like the canals with the boats and whatnot?
Hate that one.
Yeah, it's too fucking big. It's way too big.
And there's too many fucking corners. I was having an issue, and maybe it was just because I'm tired. or like I was tired at the time because,
Mhm.
contrary to belief, that is a thing that actually affects your gameplay.
Yes, 100%.
Um, but like I was running with a shotgun, and I could have swore I was hitting these people,
Mhm.
but like they'd like pop out, like I'd get 2 pumps out of it, and then I'd be dead. I was not a fan of that match, though. So I might be a little like tired biased for that match, but the map itself, I wasn't having fun on it
I
at all.
I feel like most of the maps like are built around objectives so that way it can funnel people. But if you get team deathmatch on these like bigger maps, it just fucking sucks. It just sucks so bad. You're just wandering and like yeah, but like I think that's something that can be fixed. And I do think there are some good maps. Like I said, I love Skyline. Scud is pretty okay. Um, but I do think there needs to be some work. Um, okay. So I have
Has
not.
Nuketown been released yet?
No, Nuketown is not out yet. I have not
Oh,
ended
okay.
up on Nuketown yet. Um, personally, that's actually not like I love that map. I think Nuketown's a dope map. It is not my favorite map from like the Call of Duty franchise. They actually did a couple of my favorites in Modern Warfare 3, which is unfortunate because I didn't really care for Modern Warfare 3. Um, comment in the chat. Lilith Morningstar 10 says, "Hey, hey, 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 Lilith Morningstar. Thank you. If you like the show, please give us a follow. If you got an Amazon Prime sub, please. Like
My wife. That's my work
ah,
wife.
your work wife. Okay, that makes sense. Um,
Mostly
yeah.
the last name.
I do not have a work wife anymore. I work from home. My work wife is my actual girlfriend. so, um, so yeah. Um, how long have you been workmate? This is a comment in the chat.
She had demanded that we get married on Halloween this year, so I guess that's happening.
Aw, that's adorable.
She's
But yeah,
Canadian. Red
Canadian,
flag.
eh?
Okay, I'm sorry. That just perked me because I'm part Canadian. So I'm like, fellow Canadian, hi, hi.
Do you both
I
say a
don't have these
boot?
tattoos for nothing, my dude.
Emily, have you seen Letterkenny?
Yes, yes, I
I
Yeah,
have.
love
okay.
Letterkenny.
It's so good.
Oh, good.
Um, yes. But as I was saying, hey everybody, Twitch Primes, give us Jeff Bezos' money. Don't let that sit. Um,
Please, for the love of all that is holy.
and if you're listening to us
Help
on
us all
Spotify,
afford a toupee that man should wear.
and if you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. It helps us get traction.
Oh
Uh,
wait, you could rate things on Spotify. Oh wow,
yeah.
I'm old. I did not know that was a thing. I just listen. I'm like,
uh,
oh, my views.
uh,
Damn.
so let's see.
Oh, Jesus God.
So anyway, all right. So we've talked about multiplayer. I haven't touched zombies. What's the deal with zombies? What's going on with this? Because I have
Okay,
not.
so
I also want to add I have not played a Call of Duty Zombies mode since Black Ops 2. So
So it's been a minute, is what you're saying.
okay, so you don't know how MW3 played zombies.
nope, no idea. Never touched it. Played multiplayer. Tried the
Okay,
campaign. Thought the campaign was trash. Played multiplayer.
all right. Well, before I go into that, I want to toss this out because I was playing a lot of MW3 prior to the release.
hmm
Um, and we were playing just gun game,
hmm
but I was playing with 4 people on my stream, and we were going around knives only.
All
That
right.
go.
It was hilarious because we were having a lot of fun. Now, shenanigans aside, um,
Shenanigans aside.
yeah. um, zombies. All right, so we got round base back again. It's a lot of fun. It reminds me of all like I mean, it's just round base. You get your standard zombies, but the toss up is we've got spider zombies now that are in place of the hellhound. Hopefully, they add the hellhounds back because I personally like the hellhounds. Those are awesome. It's creepy because like in mid matches or like mid waves, you'll shoot a zombie and this like fang style spider head zombie will sprout from the neck of the dead zombie.
Sounds
Um,
fucked. Okay.
yeah,
It sounds so
it is.
purely fucked.
Yeah, they're pretty scary in large packs, especially when you're not paying attention. But we've also got manglers and abominations and this horrifying creature that I can only describe as the finger uh, monster from the island or from the forest. There's one of those on one of the maps. Like I ran straight into it, not like I turned the corner and I jump scared myself. So we've got a different variety of zombies that you'll go through.
Okay.
As far as the power ups, you still got stamina up and a couple others around the map. So you still got your mystery boxes. You do have gumballs now that add like I'm still trying to figure that system out. But the thing is, you have now an ability to extract out of your round base, and then you bring like extra bonuses back. I still haven't made an exfil, so I don't really have much to say on what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You can now save point on a solo, so you can save mid game and then go back at the beginning of that round where you save. So they
Okay.
do have a function where you can do that now. They still have their classic Call of Duty Easter eggs where you can do certain objectives, bring up like a giant monster to shoot, or like unlock certain parts of the map. It's overall pretty fun. It's like a culmination of MW3 Zombies mode,
Mm-hmm.
just made round based in the aspect of there are tons of dropped plates, weapons, and stuff like that here and there. Like if you switch out one of your guns from the mystery box, you can go back or hand that to the player.
Mm-hmm.
The wonder weapons are back. So it's a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun. I've been ranking up a lot faster, which helps because like I haven't really done too much with my loadouts because start the game, you have no access to anything.
Okay. All right, cool. I am looking for. So I love round-based horde modes. Like I loved Firefight in older Halo. Gears of War 3 was peak and still is peak horde mode for me. So I'm
Hmm.
curious to see how this Black Ops 6 zombies I feel about it. It sounds dope. It sounds cool. We still need to get a Gears 3 horde night together on the channel. I know we've been saying we're gonna do it for a while. Let's just getting four grown adults to be able to go anywhere at 7 at night on a weekday is hard.
A little bit.
Well,
Just a little.
I will be around when you guys play this.
Okay. Do you have a modern-ish Xbox to do Gears 3?
Oh, Gears 3. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Black Ops 6.
Oh, we can.
Because you
We're definitely.
mentioned.
Sorry, I was gonna
Definitely
say.
doing Black Ops.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a Black Ops night, and we'll definitely have you for that for sure. It's just a matter of when. Aaron basically just needs to get moved and settled. Is kind of the
I
short
think the
version of that.
tentative was sometime next month
Yeah, so
Yeah,
for
mid
Black
mid
Ops.
November, if
it's
I
gonna be
remember correctly.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
mid to late November. I just don't know when. Um, but all right. Well, it sounds cool. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I know that I definitely need to talk to everyone and be like, hey, when are we gonna do zombies? Uh, as for the campaign, which I tried, they're doing some cool stuff with it. I dug it. It definitely has that Black Ops vibe. It's all like CIA bullshit. Very cheesy, very 80s action movie. But that's dope. I do like the way that they are doing. Selena, I'll play Zambonis with y'all. Um,
No.
yeah. Anyway, so Black Ops 6 as far as the campaign goes, I like the way they do campaign missions now, where it's like you have multiple options on how to approach things. Like there is this bell tower you have to go to and get a sniper, and like you have to get to the top of the bell tower, get the sniper, snipe the dude on the boat, and then escape back to the van or murder your way back to the van. Though now you can go loud and go guns ablazing. What I did is I hopped in the canal, swam down, got to the side of the church, murked two dudes with a silent pistol, climbed up the scaffolding, got in the window, murked two dudes, climbed atop the bell tower, sniped the guy, and then escaped almost the same way on the way out. It was fucking awesome. It was so fucking
Okay.
cool. But the way other people have told me is like, oh yeah, I just went loud and shot everything. You know, and multiple levels have different ways to approach this. I had a level where it was just like, oh yeah, you can totally go in and just murder your way to the second floor, or you can go and go loud. So it's a lot of time giving these options to go stealth or go loud. I love it. The levels are a lot bigger and a little more branching. And then they've added dialogue choices now. Like it's
Okay.
it's it's really goddamn cool. Like you'll go back to the base and like yeah, you can totally just upgrade your stuff and then go to the next mission. But you can go talk to people and like talk about the mission, talk about them. Like it's a little bit of like the Mass Effect thing where it's like, all right, did a mission, all right, time to go back to base and talk to everyone. Well, how's Woods feeling? How's the German dude feeling? You know.
Didn't they do that with Cold War?
They did, but this feels a little more fleshed out. Um, it feels like there's a. I don't know if it's active, but it does feel like there's a kind of a reputation system behind it. And similar to Cold War, though, you'll play missions and you'll like. If you kind of branch off and look around, you'll find stashes of money that you can use to upgrade the base, to upgrade your weapons, to give you easier time on missions. Um, it's nice to see the Call of Duty campaign expanding. For the longest time, because I felt the way Modern Warfare 3 did it, the levels were just too open. Like it just felt like way too open and aimless. But this feels like there's choice, but it's still a Call of Duty campaign where it's like focused, and I like that.
Hmm.
And I love the dialogue choices. I love going back to base and hearing this like German dude technology hacker guy tell me how crooked the CIA is. So
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
correct. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's the most. So I have played every Call of Duty to some extent, and I've played. This is definitely one of the better ones. It's probably the one I've been enjoyed the most during the first weekend since probably Modern Warfare in 2019. Um, so yeah. All right.
So
Well,
I'm
sorry. Go.
yeah, just a quick thing. I mentioned that I was gonna play it through Game Pass,
Mhm.
and I
Hmm.
was.
Mhm.
Well, one full night of playing it, I wound up getting it for Steam. So I essentially paid for the full game.
All right. I mean, that's
That's how
fine.
much I actually had fun with this, because I originally said, "Oh, no, I don't want to buy another one. My skins aren't carrying forward." But no, this one's actually caught my attention. I actually had to admit in my own Discord, I was like, I hate being like this, but all right, Call it Black Ops 6 slaps hard, and I'm going to be playing this.
I always stay sub to Game Pass, so like I'm probably never gonna end up purchasing it. But if this was not a Game Pass game, I would not have been upset if I spent $70 on it. So
Yeah.
if you're not a Game Pass person, then I would say yeah, it's totally worth picking up. At least from my about 8 hours playing multiplayer and 3 hours in the campaign. Like it's really goddamn good. They did a good job with it after, in my opinion, kind of a low year with Modern Warfare 3. Um, so Take that how you will. All right. Well, so next up on this list, so I have a couple of games that I'm curious about here. Um, all right. We already kind of know what War Thunder and Cyberpunk are. What is Combat Master?
So before we go into that, I do want to talk about Lockdown Protocol because
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
it's the new
That was where I was gonna go next. So you
yeah,
know.
that is the new trend that's sweeping the nations. Because you
Is
see
it?
it all over, and it
Is it?
is a 3D first person Among Us.
Oh, is this what the kids are playing? Is what
It
is hip
is.
with the children?
This is hip with anybody. It is so
Okay.
much fun. If you liked Among Us, you're gonna love this. It
Okay,
has a
so
similar
3D
build.
3D Among Us.
Yes,
Got it.
yeah. While you're first person. Now,
Oh, okay.
never play this with a Discord call because the game really depends on really uh excels and depends that you use the in-game chat because it's got proximity chat.
Gotcha.
So
Oh shit.
this, yeah. So you don't just be a ghost and you can't talk to anyone. No, if you die, you're a little floating orb with eyebrows and eyes, and you can talk to each other and follow around everyone else. And so you can chat and figure out tasks and whatnot. You have, as far as weapons, you can hit anybody with anyone. I killed somebody with a salmon. Um,
Alright.
but there's shotgun C4. There's a pistol. There's a trank gun. There's it's up to 8 players at the moment, and it
Oh,
is a ton of fun to do group nights.
alright. Alright, cool. I was not an Among Us person. None of our Discord really was. What ours ended up so during the lockdown when Among Us was getting huge, the game is called Lockdown Protocol Wolf. Sorry, comment in the chat. So the during the pandemic, our Discord got into Sea of Thieves real hard. We
Oh yeah.
became pirate people, and then after that, after we realized the lockdown was going to be a lot longer than a month, um, we ended up being the Grand Theft Auto heist people. We did not do anything else. We didn't play the game's multiplayer. We did heists.
Best
Damn, I
time
really
in
missed
the world.
out.
Yeah, that was kind of our whole shtick for a while. And then I think towards the end of the actual lockdown period, we did co-op runs of all the Halo games. So,
Yeah.
yep. So, Among Us is a game that I do not have an attachment to. My girlfriend loves it, loves it to
Eh,
death. But
it, 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 it's a fairly fun game if you're for it. If not,
all right. Lockdown Protocol though. All right, that's pretty dope. All right, and then what is Combat Master?
Okay, Combat Master. It's not really a new game. I think they're going into season 3 here shortly. It is
Okay.
a dumbed down version of Call of Duty. It's free to play. I caught wind of this because I watch a lot of Easter egg videos,
Okay.
and it has a similar game to gun game from Call of Duty,
Okay.
where on the off chance you get to the last weapon, it could be a PlayStation 5 controller. So
Okay.
that caught my attention, and it's just it's got a variety of different modes like Call of Duty, but it's free to play. It's less than 5 gigs. So like if you've got friends that don't want to play Call of Duty but want to play like a quick in and out, it's a pretty fun game. I just I will be buying a skin this this month or
Okay.
this week for it. That is like it's just the inflatable T-Rex skin.
It
Like
Oh my
the
god. Oh
yeah.
my
So
god.
like it's a bit goofy, but it's just a free to play Steam game that you can also play on mobile. So it's
I was about
like
to say it looks like there's a phone game version. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Off the grid though, that's something I wanted to talk.
Yeah, that's another one where I looked at it, I'm like, what the hell is this?
It is a early access new battle royale. It is a
Oh, okay.
its requirements was making my new graphics card chug a bit.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's pretty visually beefy for sure.
Yes, it is a
Uh,
battle royale where you have um, augmented limbs. So you can trade out your legs for rocket legs, or um, have like a Azer arm or rocket arm. And in the middle of matches, if you're running away from an enemy, they can shoot your legs off, and you're still in the
oh,
game, or shoot your arm off, and you can trade out these limbs. Or, but it works like a regular battle royale.
okay. This actually looks pretty hype. It looks like it's Epic Game Store only if you're on PC though.
Yeah, sadly for right now.
Womp womp. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the system specs, this is crazy though, because the recommended is a 4070 and 32 gigs of RAM. What?
Yeah,
Dude, that means my
Wow.
PC is like just the recommended minimum other than the CPU. Wow, that's wild.
I'm I'm hoping once the game's like a finished development, they'll be able to tone that back a bit, because I was like, oh, cool, I get to, oh, whoa, ugh, because I only got 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Okay, yeah, so looking at this, one, it looks like is a blockchain slash NFT game. So that's weird. It does have a console version though, so that's nice. This does look
That's what I
cool.
play.
Sorry, go ahead.
I play the console version on the PlayStation 5. It
Gotcha.
runs well.
Okay. Does it run at 60 on console or 30?
Uh, I'm not sure, but realistically, I think it runs at 30.
Okay. So
I
I'm
could be
gonna
wrong.
yeah. Well, I can find out. My TV has a setting that tells me, so I'll definitely give that a look. Yeah. I'm. This actually looks really interesting. I'm gonna toss this into our indie game watch list here real quick. This actually does look cool as hell. All right, well, cool. I'm actually interested in that. Like visually, it looks fantastic. I don't think I've ever heard of this developer, but you know that's the nature of independent gaming. All right,
I
well, sorry, go ahead.
isn't it Killzilla or Zilkilla?
It looks like Gunzilla.
Gunzilla. I feel like they've done something in the
It looks
past.
like they've done Off the Grid. That's it. That's the only game they have here. All right.
Yeah.
Independent, innovative, player focused is their their whole shtick. It looks cool. They kind of remind me of what God, the Crisis Studio. I'm trying to remember their name. Um, Lordy. Crytek kind of reminds me of what Crytek used to be. So, all right. Well, I think that's about it for what we've been playing. All right. Well, I'm gonna check for comments on the stream and on the YouTube real quick because I know we nearly forgot last week. Um, Thank you guys for supporting the YouTube more and more. We're trying to upload day and date. Um, Speaking of which, tomorrow we got a Frostpunk 2 review going live. Our very own Anthony Taw played through Frostpunk 2 multiple times to give you a lovely, somewhat timely review. So, yeah, please go watch that when it goes live. Uh, okay, no comments on last week's show. Fantastic. So yeah, before we wrap it up, hey, we're on the Apple Podcast, Spotify. Go there, say nice things about us, give us positive reviews and positive things on YouTube. Helps us grow. Also, if you're watching this live on Twitch, hey, Twitch Primes, follows, subs, all that good stuff. And so plans for the week. I don't know what we're doing for Halloween, if we're doing anything. Normally, I know we normally do our Left 4 Dead Halloween stream, but
Ooh, I'm so down.
but with Aaron moving and traveling to Montana, that might get interrupted this year. We'll take a look. We'll try. We'll try. Yeah, I know I'm handing out candy, but there's afterwards. But yeah. So anyway. So yeah. I don't know what we're doing for Halloween this year for the stream itself. We might do Left 4 Dead. I know that I've talked about doing Resident Evil 6 because there are people in the community who love Resident Evil 6 and want me to give it another chance because I did not play it for the past 12 years. So we're doing something. No candy, only pie. Just hand out full pies on Halloween. uh, hand out pie. Hand out marijuana pies. There you go.
No.
Why
I
not?
already have a bad habit with pies. I don't need to be eating one pie and then have to go back for like 20 more. I've already horrified my Twitch viewers with me eating an entire pie to myself by eating it from the inside of the pie outside.
What kind of pie was it?
It was a peach pie, peach cobbler pie.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite kind of pie?
I want to say cherry, but lately I've been like
Ooh.
really digging boysenberry.
Okay, fair enough. I'm for me it's either pumpkin or chocolate cream. Those are my go-tos. Em, do you have a favorite kind of pie?
Pumpkin, chocolate cream, or a baked apple.
Okay. Cherry pie is real good though. I do like cherry pie. I'm not big on apple pie. I don't like apple desserts really. It's actually a big part of
Really?
what. Yeah, no. I don't even really like apple cider all that much. It's not for me. Not for me, sirs. Comment in the chat, marijuana pies with 37 Allen ranches in it. No, you gotta put the little razor blades in it. That's what your parents
Jesus
warned you
Christ.
about in your Halloween candy. Or how you're getting a whole pie, marijuana pie with little razor blades.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a Balrog in mine.
I don't think we're at my. So I'm going to Steph's house to hand out candy because she's doing stuff. But I don't think at our house we are handing out candy. I think we're just.
She even allowed to do stuff. I thought she was a public enemy, like a #1 watch list.
just like she has to go inform her neighbors when she moves to a neighborhood.
Sorry, the FBI is aware of my shenanigans. I have to let you know that they surveil.
Well, shit.
If I'm in the public, I'm being watched clearly. I will say the weirdest moment of doing this podcast, be it independently or at the old company, is I have been actually recognized in public, and it is the weirdest moment in the entire world. It is such a it's cool, but me and Ray were in a Best Buy back when we did when Ray and I were at the old site, the Gamer Access, we were like in a Best Buy, and people recognized us, and it was weird. It was a very weird moment.
I'm gonna cosplay as Bronson now. Make you super famous.
I would love that. That'd be hilarious. Just get a Hawaiian shirt, get glasses, dye your hair white, grow a beard. There you
It's
go.
not white. It's more salt and peppery.
Yeah, it's checkered Vans. Can't forget the checkerboard Vans or the flip flops. I basically dress like someone's retired dad. Yeah. I am almost always wearing my comfy shorts unless I'm at a business meeting. So.
That's fair.
Lordy. All right. Good show, everybody. As always, if you're coming late, this will be on the YouTubes, the Spotify, and the iTunes later tonight or tomorrow, depending on when I get the timestamps. And then, like I said, for the week, I'm not sure what we have going on. It's kind of up in the air with Aaron moving to Montaigne. And then, yeah, Lucy, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, it was fun. It's always been fun.
Yes,
Always
absolutely.
going to be fun.
Yes, I love having you. You are wildly entertaining. Thank you
I
for
don't know
doing
if
your.
that's good.
I will say this: our the two guests that we've been rotating consistently are like you and Duncan, and it is very different vibes. Like Duncan is a dude who knows everything about the industry in and out to a degree that like even he like throws me off guard sometimes. And the show always ends up running long. It always goes to like 2 in the afternoon. And then with you, it's just kind of like a chill vibe, like we're having a good time. So I have to be ready for two
Bullshitting.
very different shows. All right. Anyway, yeah. So next week, Aaron's definitely not gonna be on the show. We're probably gonna have Duncan on. If not, it's gonna be probably just me and M. And then
If
that's
you need me, I
I might tap you for
unless I
that.
have something pop up, yeah,
I might tap you for
I'm
that.
available whenever. Just give me heads up, and I'll plan ahead.
I also need to talk to Ray. He plays all the games. Tim's a maybe. I don't know how Tim is on
Tim
camera.
is a game. I like
Tim
playing.
Tim is one of the most fascinating people I have ever met in my entire life. He is.
When I get my 3D printer, he's coming over to help me set it up.
Yeah, I have. I have actually paid Tim to do a bunch of labor here. Like he helped us drill holes in the kitchen and hang stuff from the walls and stuff, and also helped me fix my garbage disposal.
Well,
Yeah.
I will definitely pay him, Selena. Also, he has to wear a maid outfit when he does it.
Oh my god.
Tim doesn't need to do that here. To be fair, we also have Tim do a lot of shit here that's like hard outdoor labor, like where we have him do our like yard service and whatnot.
I don't have neighbors. I'm not worried.
I didn't. You know, the thing is I do have neighbors, and I think it would be funny.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a. So I'm in the heart of Midtown. That's where my house is.
Oh no.
So like you would like you can hear the ballpark and the hospital from where I live. Oh lordy.
Holy
Anyway, all right guys. So thank you all for watching. We'll be back throughout the week. We love you. You're beautiful people. Good night.